It had been a few days since Jinty arrived on the island of Sodor, and all his trains were on time. The Fat Controller was very pleased with his work. Although that wasn't the only job Jinty had while he was there. One of Jinty's other jobs was station pilot. Whilst Percy took the passengers, he would shunt at the big station. There, Jinty would meet Duck, the Great Western Engine, who was pleased to meet him and was grateful for the help. Duck and Jinty worked great together shunting in the yard. They shunted trucks and coaches all day long. All trains were shunted on time without any confusion or delay. By the end of the day, Duck and Jinty were friends. Most of the engines were thankful for their help. Except for Henry, Gordon, and James. Gordon spluttered.
I can't understand why Duck would need help in the yards. He manages just fine on his own.
Duck is just a silly little tank engine. He shouldn't need help from that Jinty of all engines.
All he does is shunt round the yard with Duck like a teacher's pet. Why does he deserve anything?
Quite right, James. We mainline engines do all the work on the main line, and we don't get a simple thanks.
We are the reason why this railway is even running. Not us who run the main line.
Edward, maybe, but he's barely able to handle his work on his little branch line as it is.
Percy, who was resting in the sheds nearby, heard everything. He hissed steam loudly.
Let me tell you, 3 days without Jinty helping us on the branch line, your trains would be delayed. You should be happy that your trains leave on time, especially when he's giving Duck's assistance.
Oh yeah? What about that accident he had last week?
It was a rainy day, and he couldn't stop. He is more careful now.
Shut up. Jinty made sure all your trains were on time. Maybe you should shun your own trains tomorrow. See how you like it for once.
What a good idea, Duck.
Percy stated, and he huffed satisfactorily off to get his trucks. Unfortunately for the big engines, Jinty was shunting nearby and heard their conversation. This left him feeling sad and hurt.
Right, I won't shunt their trains tomorrow. I'll help Edward on his branch line instead. That ought to be fun.
So the next day, Jinty asked Edward if he could help out on his branch line. Edward agreed, and the two worked together, pushing and pulling trucks and coaches all day long. Meanwhile, Gordon was waiting at the platform. It was almost time for him to leave, and his coaches weren't ready.
Oh, where's that Jinty? Duck, you know the express mustn't be late.
Duck looked around innocently, but couldn't see Jinty.
No clue. You might want to shunt your own coaches in case she doesn't show up.
Preposterous! I refuse to shunt my own.
Gordon, what are you doing here idling around? Go shunt your coaches now. We don't want to have the express run late.
But I'm an express.
Go now, you half-wit.
Gordon grumbled over to the yard where he met James, who was angrily shunting his train. The yard was in a terrible mess, and Gordon's coaches were scattered on multiple different sidings.
What happened to the yard?
Stupid tank engine decided to help stupid Edward on his stupid branch. He didn't even shunt our trains, and now we're both late.
Gordon and James were very late when they set off. They tried to make up for lost time, but when they arrived at their last station, they were exhausted. Meanwhile, Jinty was helping Edward with the shunting.
Hey Jinty, I'm about to go to the harbour at Knapford to drop off Henry's vans. So,
I can do that for you. I'd love to explore the line again.
oh, alright then. Didn't expect an enthusiastic response.
So Edward agreed, and Jinty arrived that night at the big station with Henry's vans. Henry looked up and down the train and approved the vans he chose. Henry then set off with his flying kipper. He was making great time up until Gordon's Hill.
Driver, I need sand.
But it wasn't enough. Halfway up, Henry got stuck. He was not pleased.
Botheration!
He snorted.
We were going so nicely too.
So his driver telephoned for help. At Wellsworth, Jinty was chatting with Edward when the station master came up.
Henry's stuck on the hill. Jinty, you'll need to push him up the hill right away.
Ha! Karma kicked in at long last.
I certainly agree.
And so Jinty headed to Gordon's Hill to bank Henry's train. The next day, Jinty came back to the sheds at Tinmouth Sheds, where the three big engines were resting.
Well, well, well. Hello, you three lazy engines. Honestly, I think the Fat Controller should stop getting engines like you, and more engines like Edward. Then we'd have an actually efficient railway.
The three big engines said nothing as they went to work.